What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Today we're going to talk about two brand new changes coming to the next major update to the Division 2, fresh off the back of PTS Phase 2 for Season 10. But just before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, hit the bell so you are notified when I upload more Division videos. Even better, come on over to Twitch. I could be live right now. And if you need a community Discord, there's never been a better time to join. You'll find the link down below in the description. And with all that said, let's get started. So I'm really excited to make this video. I don't usually make news videos. I usually tend to leave them alone. But this was too good not to make a video for. And we've just finished with Phase 2 of the PTS. And we actually found out there isn't going to be a Phase 3. So it left some things in a strange place. One being the brand new named holster, the Picaros Holster. And the other being strikers. You know, there was many complaints about strikers on how hard it was to stay above 100 stacks. And I also shared them concerns. Everything else felt quite nice on the PTS, but you really had to spec quite specific into the actual gear set, and it took all the fun out of it, because if you have to use it just one way, you want to be able to, you know, multi-build in different ways. That's the idea of a looter shooter. So first of all, let's start with the Picaros Holster. So I'll throw this up on the screen here so you can see it as well, and you don't have to listen to me and my bad English accent. But you can see here, following the PTS Phase 2 feedback, we removed the 20% weapon damage perfect core attribute and 2 random attribute rolls. Instead, the Picaros Holster will now have a blue core attribute, and that can be changed to red or yellow. So that's the first thing to notice. Previously, with the first incarnation in PTS 1, we couldn't actually change that to a red at all, only a yellow or a blue, and that was because it had a minor attribute of 20%. But this is where it gets even more interesting. A perfect attribute of 15% weapon damage and 1 random attribute now roll in the minor attribute slot, which is even better than what I could have imagined. I was talking to my stream and I was saying, get rid of the 20% only in the main core attribute. Let that be red, yellow or blue, or basically yellow or blue, and give us the 20% back in the minor attribute. They've gone one step further and made this even better, because now you have a chance of getting 30% weapon damage on this holster. And that is better than it has ever been throughout any PTS phase. So it's definitely a multi-hybrid build holster again. Really, really good. Really excited to get my hands on this. All red versions, all yellow versions. Really, really good to be farming this. Really excited. Really, really good changes, I think. Definitely going to make 2-piece of this new brand set. The Abracadabra brand set that I like to call it. Now viable. Like, that is really, really nice. Okay, so let's take a look at the strikers changes. I'll throw that up there now. So they've changed Striker's Gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking up to 100 times. 1 stack is lost per second between 0 to 50. 2 stacks is lost per second between 51 and 100. Now, there's some things we need to consider here right off the bat, and I'm wondering if it's just the wording that's wrong. So if we take a look at the Striker's Harness and we look at the Striker's Gamble as it currently is, you can see it says weapon hits amplify total weapon damage by 0.5%, stacking up to 50 times. Now, this had the same issue as Heartbreaker did, where it was amplified damage, but the stacks were amplified by each other, and that, just like how Heartbreaker was with its original, just became way too much damage. And what they did, they made it so the stacks stopped amplifying against each other, and it was just a straight 1 to 50 times worth of amplified damage. But in the new description, it says increases total weapon damage by 0.65%. So I'll be very interested to see if that wording is what that wording is, if it is just literally going to be 100% weapon damage, you know, and if it is, we just need to test it, see what the damage numbers are like, and it certainly is going to be very, very interesting. Now, it's already better from the get-go, because you look at it now already. So the weapon damage, although it's amplified, we don't know about that, but the stacks lost from 0 to 50, we usually used to lose 2 stacks a second, and now we only lose 1 from 0 to 50. So it is a slight buff in that sense, but it is all going to come down to if that damage calculation is the same or is it not anymore. And if it's not, we're going to have to get it in the range, do some maths and see how it turns out. Now, there's the other talent here called Press the Advantage, and if we flip down here and have a look at that, increases the max stacks from Striker's Gamble from 50 to 100. That was the old one. The new one now increases the max stacks from Striker's Gamble from 100 all the way up to 200, and it loses 3 stats lost per second between 101 and 200. Now, that's way, way, way more damage, I would think, just thinking about it. Because we get up to 200 stats, we're essentially doubling. So I do think this is probably intended. I do think it's not amplified at all anymore, and it's a 200 straight % of a damage increase on your base damage. But we'll have to check. We won't know until we actually get to try it. So really, really nice. But one thing to note, they didn't mention the backpack. And if we want to have a look at the backpack now, you can see weapon hits amplify total weapon damage by 0.5%. Oh, sorry, that's not the one we're looking for. Risk management increases total weapon damage gained per stack from Striker's Gamble from 0.5 to 0.65. So this can't be right anymore, because Striker's Gamble already gives us 0.65. So I'm wondering if this has stayed the same and has gone from 0.65 to 1%, because they don't mention this at all. And if that is the case, then I'm pretty sure this is going to be a huge buff. Like, this is actually going to be a huge buff to what we have now. I think it's going to out damage it. I think it's going to be really, really nice to keep up stacks. It just looks really, really well. So a great change. Unfortunately, I do think it is going to still lean towards using a shotgun to build the stacks. And I was kind of hoping it would come away from that and separate itself from Heartbreaker a little bit. But hopefully this will out damage Heartbreaker at the top end and give a more risk reward scenario, whereas Heartbreaker gives you some armor as well. It would be really nice if Strikers was all out damage and did the most damage of the two, and Heartbreaker was, it swapped a little bit of that damage out to give you a little bit of survivability, and therefore then letting you choose what kind of scenario you want to run in. But I definitely thought it was worth doing a video on this, because it seems really, really good. I can't wait to test it. It is going to be when it goes live, because we're not getting another PTS now for this phase. As you can see at the top there, it says for TU 16.1. So I can't wait till we get the release on that. Hopefully that is now going to be in the next couple of weeks. There's rumours that maybe next week it would come out. But I don't know, I'm thinking maybe the week after. They've not had a lot of time since the previous PTS finished, unless they had made these decisions pretty early on in the testing phase. I don't know. But that is going to be it for now. We'll keep an eye on the bugs list and things like that, and post anything else that comes out on there. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on that now. The new system, Trello I think it is, works really, really well for us keeping an eye on what's going on. Thank you for watching, agents. Don't forget to subscribe or come on over to Twitch, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.